All right, the lesson number two, we should learn from the killings that happened recently in Benue State is that Governor Isent Ali is a typical product of the politics that we should not play as a people. I'll give you a brief scenario, like a description, so we can understand the true picture of the message I'm trying to pass. If you happen to be an accident victim, which is not the prayer of most of us anyway, and at the scene of that uh, incident, would you prefer to have a, a traffic officer who is compassionate, who is sympathetic to your plight, to a medical doctor? Ordinarily, every reasonable person would want to have a medical doctor at that scene. The traffic officer might be sympathetic to your plight, might offer first aid, but might not really offer surgical uh, procedure that maybe would actually address the wound or the injury better. Or might not even offer first aid as much as a medical doctor if it were just to be mere casual accident, or something very light in terms of injuries sustained. So the same way it is for us as far as politics is concerned. It is not enough for one to have compassion for the people, like Governor Alia coming from the pulpit as a priest of the Roman Catholic Church. There should never be in doubt that he is compassionate about the Benue people. But has his compassion, has it been enough to address insecurity in Benue State? So beyond compassion, we should look at people who have convincing plans, convincing ideas to address issues. What I've got to learn over the years is that Nigeria are carried away by mundane things. See, when I consulted a few respected statesmen about my ambition to run for presidency in 2027, there were some questions, about my credibility. And one of those questions was if I've been running an NGO, what have I done in terms of philanthropic gestures, And someone might be going around donating, monies to the schools, to orphanages, to hospitals. These are good deeds, of course, that should be acknowledged. But does that really mean that these individuals are positioned to address issues critically as they emerge? Hence, beyond these shenanigans, we must begin to look out for convincing plans to address issues. If you are running for governor, what are your plans to address the issues of insecurity in Benue State, for example, in Delta State, for example, or in Lagos State? What are your plans to address the economy? It should not be mere statements like, I will create jobs, I will fix the roads, I will provide infrastructure for the people, But you need to show critically, convincingly, that you have a clear action plan of how you are going to achieve these things. That from step A, the people understand that this is the next step you are taking, this is the subsequent step you are taking to address issues. It must be well articulated. And this brings us to the number three lesson we should learn from the Benue State massacre in recent times.